I'm hoping. But anyways, listen, let's get directly to our first interview with Peter Speek. He is coming into town next week. This is all in regards to a really, really cool video that they have made, and it's not even just a video; it's actually a Uprising. It's called The Movement. This is going to be next week at the Columbia Theater. It'll be played around I do believe 7 o'clock, and the tickets are $26.50. You purchase them beforehand online at the www.lowercolumbiacap.org. You can get it for $23. This is, by the way, brought to you by some of the great sponsors here in town: Columbia Bank, all the new car dealers of Longview Kelso, Peace Health, Priscilla Johnson's Farmer Insurance, the CAP Foundation, Columbia Theater, and much, much more. If you need some inspiration, I suggest making it to this film. There's also going to be a CAP Foundation lunch prior to that, earlier in the day, and at that luncheon, you're going to be able to hear Mr. Peter Speek and Warren Miller's son, Kurt Miller. They'll be talking about the adversity and overcoming adversity in business. So speaking of that, Peter, are you there? Hey, how are you doing today, sir? Can you hear me? I can hear you great, thanks. So, by the way, I was just reading up some of your bio there. And, by the way, thank you for coming to meet us today. I know it's on the phone, but soon you'll be here back in the old Longview. And I say the old Longview because I read some of your bio, and you are a local kind of guy. They are. So what was the film project? I mean, obviously it was a wedding, but was it a film about weddings, or what was that?
In addition to just shooting the wedding, because it was a film project, I interviewed the family and, was trying to make a story about getting married and yada, yada, yada. When you're a student making films, you just go out and do something. I did it.
Oh, well, that's great. Well, that's good. And so you're familiar with this area. It's a pretty little area, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but we were recognized last year.
The state love Longview. It was just a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, we missed you there. But, Longview was recognized in the top 50 prettiest cities in the United Nations, by the way, not United Nations, in the United States, by Forbes last year, by the way. So that's kind of cool. We're hoping to get more producers back in this area. It'll be kind of nice to have you guys here to visit. So now you have started something called Make a Hero Foundation. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now,
and Make a Hero is a nonprofit, 501(c), and what we're doing is we are creating a series of very high-quality, inspirational films that feature well-known and accomplished disabled athletes and celebrities to help grow the awareness and generate financial support for individuals with disabilities. And we want to inspire people with disabilities to get fully engaged in the game of life and build their confidence. And the money that we raise goes to what's called the adaptive organizations. Those are the organizations that provide the personnel, services, volunteers, and not the least, the equipment for people with disabilities to participate in active sports, whether it's a skiing sled or special equipment to rock climb. There are thousands of volunteers that do that work, and they're just great at what they do, and I'm happy to be part of what is supporting them.
to get people back in the game of life, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. People who are bedridden or can't, feel like they have no worth, you're getting them back up there and doing that. Now prior to this, we'll get back to this, but prior to this, you joined with Kurt Miller, is that correct? And you guys...
Kurt and I joined and started a company and started working with his dad's company and dad's partners, and in 1989 we bought the company, and Kurt and I co-produced and co-directed the Warren Miller annual ski and snowboard films for close to 15 years.
Wow, that's amazing. I often have those films playing in the background of my house when I go to bed for some odd reason. Just kind of like very peaceful and exciting at the same time. It's just watching the the skiers go down something that I would never, ever do. I'd like to. Some of that stuff's just crazy, though. They, coming to helicopters and getting dropped off. That's some good stuff. But you guys started that company, and, well, you took it over from his father, is that right?
Father had some partners at the time, and we were kind of on the younger side, and Warren was getting up there a bit in the years, and MTV was invented, and I'd like to think that we brought some fresh blood to the thing, and started bringing in younger music, and doing faster edits, and pushing the limits a bit more on what we're doing. And of course, what we've always done there is film around the world some of the best skiers and snowboarders, and we filmed in Washington State many times, White Pass Ski Resort, as an example,
Yep.
the Mayer Brothers, and they're supporting the showing. They're going to give out a season pass and some free passes, so that'll be great.
Yeah, that's wonderful. There's a local company here too, the Pro Shop. They are and the skiers. They're helping out quite a bit too.
Great guys over there.
Yeah, no, I know. Down south, they do a lot of filming. I think it is in Oregon as well, right down the road from us. They do some ski films and stuff up at Timberline and some of those other great places up there. So you yourself, by the way, you're a skier, correct? You're not just a filmer?
No, I love skiing. I particularly love helicopter skiing.
Yes, I probably have seen you in the films then, actually, with the stuff there.
Over the years, done a lot of cameo appearances undisclosed, and had fun with it. But mostly we're behind the camera, and I'm certainly not the kind of skier that the world-class skiers and snowboarders that are in the films are. But I like to make a few turns, and I prefer a helicopter as a chairlift, and love to get those days in on those fresh powder days.
Yeah, I bet. So, have you always been wanting to get into the film business? I mean,
my degree was in film, and I started off and got kind of more involved in special events and professional golf tournaments and NASCAR events and telecasts and so on and so forth. And I met Kurt, and it was at the time when things were starting to move in sponsorships areas, and we started working with the company, and then bought it and got involved and just kept doing it. And it was just a great job. And people often say I had the world's best job, and it's hard to dispute or argue that. And I've been blessed to do that, traveled all over the world filming and making these films. And, and even the Warren Miller films are quite inspirational. And
they are.
Doing making those films almost every year, if not, I can't remember for sure, but almost every year we would have a sequence that featured disabled skiers, whether it was a blind person or paraplegic or what have you. And that really was, those sequences were so powerful, so inspirational, and we got such comments from people, and people loved the films, that really was the motivation to start Make a Hero after Kurt and I sold the business to Time Warner. And that's what we've been doing since then. And it's just, it's amazing. For example, in this film, The Movement, which is narrated by Robert Redford and Warren Miller, we have a skier whose name is Chris Waddell. He has won 12 Paralympic gold medals.
Wow.
And we use people like that who have done so much to overcome their disability that they are truly heroes. And I had the pleasure that this film got accepted in the Sundance Film Festival, and I went there for that festival and went up and made some turns with Chris that day. And I'm getting on the chairlift with him, and he's in a sled. And to get on a chair, he just needs a lift off to give them the nose of the sled, one little thing, and they pop him up in the chair, and I'm sitting next to him, and I say, Chris, anything you want me to do or need me to do when we get off the lift up here? And he turned and looked at me and said, yeah, try not to fall.
Tells you tried to fall. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Well,
they're just inspirational people, and this film just brings it out, and features a man named Rick Finkelstein who had an accident in 2004 in Aspen. He'd been a lifelong skier and became paraplegic, and we said, Rick, we're going to take you skiing and teach you how to ski in a sled, and he's a little resistant.
Hey, Peter?
And we kind of lived through his fear of can I do this? Do I want to do this?
Yes, yeah, it's amazing.
As you see him break through it and overcome the psychological barriers and the physical barriers, all of a sudden you see him breathe in oxygen and
he can do it.
and
Yeah.
freedom that he hadn't experienced since his accident. And then when you see him actually link some terms together, you start cheering for the guy.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just incredible.
Peter, real quick, we're going to have to cut to a break real quick, but we'll be right back with you. I want to talk to you about this guy, okay? This is awesome. Chamber Connection, Lonnie Old Stuart Title. We'll be right back. Thanks a lot. Welcome back to the Chamber Connection. It's Lonnie Knowles with Stuart Title, and I was interviewing Peter Speek with the Warren Miller Entertainment Film Company, and they are with the now the movement. One man joins an uprising. It's Make a Hero Foundation, and it's a very inspirational film. We're hoping to see you all this next Tuesday at the Columbia Theater, and to get those tickets, you can just go onto the CAP website, which is www.lowercolumbiacap.org, and the prices at the door are going to be $26.50. If you buy them prior to that, it's going to be $23, and it's going to be a very inspirational film. And we're just talking to Peter Speek here. They're one of the producers. How you doing, Peter?
Great, Ronnie. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, so you were just talking about one of your heroes in the film. And
yeah, Chris Liddell. And there's others. There's a guy named Mike May who had an accident when he was 3 or 4 years old. Chemicals, became blind. He's written a book. He's invented a GPS machine for people that are blind to help them walk around cities. And he was the first blind CIA agent in history, and he holds the world skiing speed record for a blind person. And talk about inspiration. This guy, is just defies everything and has done so many amazing things that, again, he truly has become a hero.
when he could have just given up.
Yep.
Yep, that's the thing right there. Helping people get back on their feet or on their whatever it is to make them feel like they're whole again and like they're a back piece of society and that they're doing something with themselves. That's great. Now, as far as it goes, what was it like producing and directing your Warren films? I mean, it had to be just amazing. I mean, you guys have had you toured the world doing all this stuff.
It is, and, I hate to share some of the stories because as fun it is and what you're doing is incredible, but the actual work of filming is somewhat tedious because, if you're up, if you go up to White Pass and you're going to go skiing for a day, you go up, you go down, you get the chairlift, you ski a few runs, maybe go in for a chalk or whatever, but you get to ski. Well, when you're filming skiing, you're setting up shots, which takes forever, and someone does a couple quick turns, and you're shooting that, and then you're resetting up, and I used to make the crew really mad because I'd simply say, okay, I've had enough of this. You guys keep shooting. I'm on the radio, and I go ski while they...
Well, sure. Absolutely.
But the opportunity to make the films, to then tour the films, and come to places like Longview and meet people that are inspired and like to watch them. For us, the whole Warren Miller annual ski and snowboard film phenomena was to show our annual film every year, typically in October, November, to get everyone amped up and ready to go. So when the snow falls,
they're ready to go out and ski. They wanted to do it. People wanted to go ski right then and there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I have a silly question for you. Any of you guys have any frostbite?
The coldest I've skied, I was heli skiing and filming up at Mike Wigley's in Blue River, British Columbia, and it was negative 45 degrees, and the helicopter is rated to negative 48 degrees.
Ooh, that's scary.
We would get frostbite, but as long as you re-warm it up, and it's a little different. If you're up on Everest, you don't have any way to get warm. When you're filming and you get in a warm helicopter, you can deal with it. But that's the coldest I filmed at was negative 45 degrees.
Yeah, that's about as cold as I'd ever want to get, that's for sure. That's insane. Yeah, that's cool. So, now, will you or Kurt be on hand to talk about your film next week?
Yep, we're both going to come to town. We have a great relationship with CAP. It's a great organization, and they have a guy, Tim Welch, down there who does a lot of work and fundraising, and he's the one that is forcing us to do this, but we're happy to. And,